Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video with me, Shruti. You're watching Living Our Ascension. So in today's video, I'm going to be speaking about something that's happening astrologically, and that is the Mars Retrograde. You know, Mars, the fiery planet, the red planet, which is why I'm in red today. It's going retrograde, and whenever this happens, you know, it's really intensely felt. So and not to forget as well that we have the eclipse energies already activated. We have the eclipse season is beginning. You know, we have 3 different eclipses this time, and the first one, I believe it's going to happen in the second week of July. But the thing with eclipses is that, you know, we feel their energy months before it's exact. So already we're really feeling it, you know, we're coming up to it, and it's like this sense of chaos, and it's like something boiling from within, just under all of these things that are happening. But I do want to mention, you know, if you're new to this channel, I don't specifically speak about astrology in the sense that they're not those normal astrology reports, you know, because this channel is about spirituality. So I'm speaking about these higher energies and what potential we are activating within this season, you know, now at a spiritual level. So it's you know, it has to do with, if you are working within yourself on the process of self-mastery, then we need to go beyond just, you know, the regular, you know, what the masses are feeling. There are these higher qualities that we work with, that we are grounding, and our roles as well, you know, are these higher roles. And I'll be speaking about bringing attention to what those are in the moment, what we are being asked, you know, to hold space for. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and if that sounds interesting to you, then please keep watching. Do subscribe to this channel if you would like to receive more videos like this. Through this period as well, I hope to be bringing through more videos that can help us to activate, you know, the highest energy and our highest potential for ourselves as well as others, through some exercises too, perhaps, you know, in the coming videos, because I don't I'm feeling the need for this, but I always wait for you know, this divine inspiration to come through, because it's not, I don't make videos or speak about things just on my own. It has to be something that is guided to me. So yeah, so if you would like to receive things like that in your notifications, then do subscribe to this channel. And now we will begin with what's going on. So the main theme that I want to speak about is the purification of our personal will. So you may have heard of this term, you know, personal will and divine will before. And our personal will has to do with, you know, all human beings are born with the ability to make their own decisions and to take action in the world. And that, you know, very simply, that has to do with our personal will. And divine will is something, you know, that is kind of, it has to do with the plan of creation. So there are things that are kind of preordained, you can say. And at our highest level, it's important to know that our personal will, the choices that we make to make our life happen the way that we want, with our sheer willpower, with our ability to take action, with our decisiveness, with our focus, you know, these are all qualities of Mars as well, which is why Mars retrograde is bringing through this, you know, this higher purification of personal will. So these are all qualities of Mars, and there's more as well that I want to speak about. And what happens is, you know, when a planet goes retrograde, so Mars, as I said, you know, has already gone retrograde. It happened last week, and it's going to be retrograde until the end of August. So and again, like I said, you know, there's also the eclipse season that's already happening, so we're feeling this super potent energy. And Mars, you know, when it goes retrograde, it creates this because it's this fiery planet. So but it's, instead of going forward and direct out into the world, now the focus is going inwards. So this willpower and this focus, you know, this problem solving ability, intimacy, all of these things are related to Mars. Then we need to focus that at an internal level. And when we do that, you know, it can really be this fiery time that we go within, because think of Mars, you know, Mars is this planet that people even who don't know astrology kind of know about, because Venus and Mars are so, you know, popular, with Mars being the more masculine planet and Venus being feminine. So Mars, you know, the god of war, like soldier, all of those archetypes, when it's focused at an internal level, we can really solve many things. You know, it's this problem solving, deep penetration kind of masculine energy that we are directing inwards. So one of the things that it rules is intimacy, which is going to be an important theme. And of course, this is an important theme for us anyway. For those who are on the path of self-mastery, everything is about intimacy with self. Everything is about, coming closer to parts of ourselves, seeing it as it is. And intimacy is, something that's very deep. It has to do with vulnerability and being, because what happens is that we see something in front of us that's been given to us, almost handed to us. And it's this new potential, in our life, whether that's in our relationships, in any opportunities in life, and often that opportunity will show itself to us, and it'll bring up some fears, based on those things that have hurt us the most in our lives. And that's the moment that we can then start to lose trust, or we think that it's too good to be true. So we're really being asked, that there are some things that are being shown to us now, especially with the first eclipse. It's a North Node eclipse, which has to do with the manifestation of something. So something is being manifested in our lives. But at the same time, because Mars is retrograde, we will be, there might be some deep fears that boil to the surface that we didn't even realize that we still held. And there is some deep alchemy that is needed at that level. So we are being asked to let go also of the idea of struggle. So for example, this new opportunity presents itself to you now, and but there might be some old that's still there, or some new parts of you. This power, like it shows you that you can be something that you haven't allowed yourself to be so far, or maybe that it just wasn't even required until now. But and that brings up all of your fears, because perhaps whenever you did tread on that path before, you were kind of burnt in some way. So now we're being shown that no, this higher potential is here, and we need to trust it. So with this, it'll perhaps there might be some challenges that are coming up with it becoming manifest in the physical in the way that we would like, as smoothly as we would like. But that's because there are some things that are still within that need to be transformed, that need to be embraced. And mainly this has to do with our new creation abilities. Because, as we are always evolving, and along the path of ascension, of self-mastery, because the earth keeps going through upgrades in light. So we are asked to step up each time. And so there will be parts of you that are shown to you, of how powerful you really are, and what you are required to do within your service right now. And when we are able to just embrace that, and not need for everything to fall perfectly, in the physical, and just be in that space, then that's when the idea of struggle dissolves. So we're being asked to let go and let God. This is a really important theme with Mars, and with willpower, because personal will has to do with, I can make anything happen, I can take a decision, I can do the action, and I can make anything happen in the world. But when Mars is retrograde, then that can be frustrated at some level. So when that happens, then our personal will, we are being shown, it's being humbled in a sense, and it's being shown that yes, you have personal will, but it's aligned with something greater, and it's actually aligned with the highest thing that you actually believe about yourself within, that maybe you're not even consciously yet recognizing. And so things will be moving forward, will be alchemizing from within you in relation to that highest desire, and perhaps not the limited reality that you are feeling for yourself in the moment. So there's always a greater reality, a greater part of us that we haven't seen. And when you don't feel something fully moving, or there's some challenges in the physical, that's the reason why something needs to be seen. The greater part of us needs to be seen. And with this, in this way, our personal will is humbled, and we see that we are part of something greater. So that's one thing that I wanted to say. And the only thing that we can do in such a situation, when something perhaps is really exciting, shows us that we have this new potential, but doesn't fall exactly the way we think, and perhaps we can't plan anymore then. There isn't so much opportunity, there isn't enough information yet to plan everything and just go step by step. And at that point, we just need to trust in this fiery impulse that's boiling from within, especially if it's so strong. And be grounded within it. I'm not saying take rash actions, but the path, when it's not been laid out in the physical in front of us yet, that's because it's still alchemy, it's working from within first. It happens at an internal level first. So it flows from the higher heart, this impulse, this fire that we feel, and this pathway that is created. It's birthed within the higher heart, and then it flows. So we really need to be able to trust that whatever we are feeling so strongly as this, beautiful fire that's coming straight from creation levels, that is going to be, is something that will become our reality. But what we really need to do now, and we are strongly guided, is to hold that feminine space. That's really important, because we can often be too focused on taking actions and doing things, But what's needed right now is this personal will purification through the feminine, which means that we are asked to hold space for ourselves and others. And I've been speaking about this in previous videos as well, that there is a lot of focus suddenly on relationships as well, and we are moving to the next level in our relationships. When it comes to, you might have had relationships your whole life, but I'm talking about relationships that are formed within the dynamic of divine love. And that continues to grow stronger, on the planet. So we are asked to kind of take the next steps in our relationships as well, at a grounded level. So they're becoming more grounded, and that's why we are asked now, especially because if you, let's say, are on the path of self-mastery, we are becoming these new alchemists, divine love alchemists. So now it's not just about you yourself. So for example, I can be in my energy all the time and feel this blissful state, and I know that I just love everyone. But then when you are, let's say, interacting with others, or you are in a close communion with others, in a close relationship, they might have a different point of view, or they might be at a different level in their awareness as well. So we are asked to just hold the space, and not just for ourselves but for others, because people will be feeling emotions, especially when things are so heightened during Mars retrograde and the eclipse. And emotions are just fluctuating things. They come and they go, that's their purpose. So when you are able to hold center and have that trust, then you become this space of neutrality through which things can just flow and dissolve and leave, become purified. So we are asked to hold that center. We are being shown that we are becoming these divine love alchemists at the next level, and we're being asked to embrace this role as well. And I was really surprised, actually, even within myself, to see just how much more mature I am in my relationship interactions. And it was kind of like a surprise. I didn't expect it from myself. And I found that like within my relationship interactions, sometimes people were bringing up things and kind of like almost what's the word, like people might have a reaction, like a big reaction to something that is your most vulnerable spot, something that you've been through. And this can be quite unknowingly, like perhaps you met new people and they have no idea what your story is, but somehow it just comes up, and that's because they are mainly just a reflection of something that's already happening within you. But I was so surprised to see how I was like so calm and objective when such a thing happened. And in fact, I was able to hold space for the other person, over and beyond just those things coming up from within me, like them mirroring my deepest insecurity and almost like poking unknowingly within it. I was able to not only within that moment just be still and know that I am something greater than that, than just this insecurity that I might have, and hold space for that, and hold space for them to also accept things, to also go through their own emotions, and let them observe that this is just something that is leaving as well, these emotional states, and that we all are something greater, and the connections that we hold, the divine love vibration, basically beyond the words and beyond any other exchange. It's just the flow of divine love from one heart to another. So what Spirit has been showing me recently is that divine love is being grounded at new levels, through new people as well. So new people are being activated. So when you go out into the world and you meet new people as well, and you're having more interactions with new people, let's say more in number or at a deeper level, it's because there's new instruments, you know, of the divine, like new vessels, new human bodies that are being activated to divine love. So that's the reason. And so it's really important for us to embrace this role. If you've already been doing some self-mastery for the past few years, you already hold a certain level of divine love, an embrace of divine love in your vibration. So you are able to be that space of neutrality, you know, like that pillar of light. So so it's important to know that these are the things that are some of the things that are going on. So Mars actually rules, you know, the sign of Scorpio as well, not just the sign of Aries, which is the more masculine sign. And one of the qualities of Mars is taking that deep dive within. So it's like if you imagine like this black ocean, you know, that's just completely dark, and we're going to be able to do that, you know, in these coming months, is to really take that deep dive within into the black ocean and hit the bottom and see everything that's there, you know, all of those things that we're scared of, that we weren't able to see. But also there lies our you know, deepest potential, our hidden potential, the sides of us that we just had no idea that we had. So all of that we're working with. It's really a time of great empowerment, and these hidden sides of ourselves will be coming to the surface as well. So another thing that Mars rules is our sexuality as well. So you know, whether it's about our empowerment just in a general way, or whether it's sexual empowerment as well, and we are asked to see and express these sides of ourselves that we haven't done, you know, before. So so yeah, that is really potent. And with the focus on relationships as well, we will be asked to allow others into that space as well, and to hold space, you know, for others when they are going through this, because it might be more chaotic for those who are not yet conscious of this. Then we just hold that space of neutrality. At least we don't add to the chaos, and we are able to hold that space of divine love and allow this greater alchemy of divine love, this grounding of divine love that's happening at a larger level through you know this period. Let's see what else I have about Mars retrograde. Mainly this is, you know, the main thing. And like I said, we'll be feeling it like this lava feeling that's boiling up to the surface, like it's this impending explosion type of feeling. Also because I forgot to say that Mars is, you know, under the influence of the south node as well. And the south node also has this deep introspective energy of going within. It's like it has a very spiritual nature as well. So it's really quite intense at this time, and you know, it's up to you to make it in a good way, because for me everything is good, you know, everything that happens for a reason. And of course there's going to be challenges, but challenges basically are just, you know, when something is shifting and changing, it's like the water, you know, it's like the waves. Anything that goes up will go down, and so it's just a cycle, and we need to be able to know that we're on this cycle. You know, if you only identify with being in a certain place at a time and you think that everything is just, you know, destroyed, then that's how you're going to live your life. Then everything is scary, because everything will always be moving, always. But if you know that, you know, this is the constant, change is the only constant, and you flow with that, then life is not scary. In fact, it's fun. So remember that, you know, we will be going through different changes and things that seem out of our control, but it's really exciting because there's new realities that are landing and new opportunities. And eclipses always bring this as well, major changes in our life for the year. You know, the eclipses, they trigger all of the biggest changes that are going to happen for that year. So yeah, that is something that we can expect as well. I have spoken about relationships to a large degree in previous videos as well. You can check them out if you haven't. But with regards to this purification of personal will, you know, what's happening now is, like I said, there has been more focus on relationships. We are guided to, there's more of a relationship focus this year, you know, starting this year. And through that, now what Spirit is bringing to me, like I already mentioned in this video, is that we are becoming these master love alchemists. So being able to hold not just space for ourselves now, but also, you know, for others and out in the world. We have more energy for that. Something that Spirit was showing me was that, you know, we're noticing how much more non-attached and detached not detached, but let's say non-attached and free that we are in holding space for others. And I really observed this in myself recently. And that is the space that really allows true alchemy to take place, these true changes and enmeshment between hearts, between divine love that's flowing from your heart and coming from another person, and there's something greater that's born. And so spirit is asking us to see that you have actually, you are holding a bigger space now. You are a master, and observe that within yourself, because our vibrations have shifted, and this, of course, this doesn't automatically happen, but for those who are focused on the path of self-mastery, they do all of the work. Sometimes we don't realize just how much we have shifted, and what we don't pat ourselves on the back enough. And I'm really observing how, spirit is showing us that you are at a new level, and only when you embrace that you are at a new level can you step into, the next level, the level you're at now. When you embrace that, then you can enjoy that space of being there. And also we can live it with another, this divine love vibration. Not only do we allow them to to access it by holding space for them, but we get to also live it with another. So many things we were doing on our own so far, like take a very simple example, like the food that I eat, for example, is this lighter food, vegan food, and I often used to cook for myself and do things like that. But we're finding gradually that it's becoming more about community, and you'll be seeing how things are shifting in the physical. You'll be attracting people to you, or even the people that you live with. Somehow there will be ways, even if they're not embracing the same lifestyle, things are coming together, more cohesive, more about cooperation, more about exchange, more about this equal exchange of divine love. And that brings me to another thing, which is that again, something that I've mentioned in previous videos, but it's still important for this phase. So it's important to know thyself within relationships, and what you are exchanging now with another person, in relationships, it won't be the same thing. So for example, if they are strong in one quality, you're not gonna have the same one and be equally strong. So it's about honoring and knowing what you do hold, and usually these are more the softer qualities, the more spiritual qualities, usually for those who are on the path of divine love. So you will be attracting people to you who hold a more grounded sort of focus in life, more of a grounded vibration, and you will be bringing through your gifts for them, holding space there. And in exchange, there's this beautiful plenty of support for us, plenty of grounded support for us to function at the grounded level, to flourish at the grounded level from those people as well. So so it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to meet others that are exactly like you, but whatever exchange you have with them still will be within the flow of divine love, will be within the flow of equality, equal exchange. Equal doesn't mean exchanging the same things, just like you pay money and you get a product for it. They're two different things. One person's giving money, the other has made the products, and so that's still an equal exchange though. So those type of equal exchanges, we have to get comfortable with that, with what we have, and of course this keeps expanding. Doesn't mean that what you have now is always, you will only have that, but becoming comfortable with what you do have in the moment, instead of needing something else that is not in front of you in that moment. Because usually when we do this, it's because we're not feeling our self-value enough, we're not in our self-worth enough. So know thyself is really important within relationships, and that's when these beautiful equal exchanges can happen. So yeah, all of this purification is going on right now, and we are realizing, at the end of it, basically, when this phase is over, at the end of August, going into the later months in fall, we will be just at this new level in our mastery, more comfortable in this new role. Because when you step into something new and a new door is opening, and there'll be massive new doors opening now, things that we didn't think that were possible, things that we didn't think we could create, but somehow they are falling together, just not in the way that we think. And often when we least expect it, and when we least think that it's possible. So let it all fall together in the way that it's supposed to, instead of trying to force it now. And towards the end of August and going into the fall, we will be more comfortable with this role of being grounded and sharing this space of divine love. Not just being divine love, but sharing divine love with another, being able to live it in more grounded ways in the physical, in a sense of community, in being comfortable with these exchanges, with what we have to offer and the value that another has for us as well. And through this, we are becoming these, like I keep saying, divine love alchemists, these new alchemists, and alchemy, sometimes people, when they meet me, they sometimes they make jokes, like people who are not into spirituality, they'll say, oh, can you, because you have spiritual powers, can you do this or that, can you make something appear? And it's all good fun, to speak about that. But the real power of spirituality and real alchemy, when it's at its best, it has to do with very physical things. It's not about these higher, just these higher qualities. Higher qualities are important, and we work with them at a higher level to activate a certain level in our energy. But after that, it's about living it in the physical. That's why we're here in the first place. We're here to live as a physical being, to enjoy that process of being in a physical body. So true alchemy, it's really exciting when it becomes more and more grounded, because then it's just a matter of, the mundane becomes full of magic, and we become these creators, just creating. It's like it's seamless between the spiritual realms and the physical realms, because anyway they are one. So yeah, that's it. This is all that I can express at this time. But as things progress and there's more revelations that come about, there's more unveiling that happens, I will speak more about it to help you navigate this beautiful time. And my website is www.livingourascension.com. Over there you can check out my personal services, which can really help us to accelerate our process of coming into our higher self, our self-mastery. So be sure to check that out, along with different free resources and forums also that I'm on. Like I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram community also where I share. So please check all of those things out by visiting the link. It will be below this video. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave any questions and any comments that you might have. I really love reading them, and it's good to know what people are going through. If you're watching this, you're resonating with some things, or if you have any questions, it's good to know what they are, so that way I can better help. So feel free to leave them, and I will see you very soon in the next video.